Hi everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Paul Burnett-Bloomer, and I run a page here called Bloomer Living with Demons that focuses on mental health awareness and peer-to-peer support. I wanted today to cover an antidepressant called Sertraline, which is also called Zoloft in America. It is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So that increases the hormone in your brain called serotonin that helps to regulate, well, everything if you suffer with mental health, mental illness. It regulates your mood. That certain drug, sertraline, it's good for obsessive compulsive disorder, PTSD, depression, anxiety, and it's a wonder drug. It's amazing. I've been on it now for 7 years, and that is the antidepressant I am currently withdrawing from. So I'm coming off it. Let's go back now to 7 years ago when I started it. The first dose is generally it's prescribed by your general practitioner, your GP, your doctor, and usually they start you on 50 milligrams a day for the first couple of weeks, and then you should, with any antidepressant, I always say it's very important to be taking that antidepressant for at least 8 weeks on a suitable dose. So you won't really find that it helps as much on 50 milligrams as it does in 100, but everyone's different. This is purely peer-to-peer support. I'm not a doctor. Always check with your doctor. But I found that a couple of months in, I was feeling the effects. I was feeling that it was helping my mood. It was helping a lot with depression, because depression can really cripple your life. It can disable your life. So sertraline was basically my buddy. It was my friend for a good few years. Although I was relapsing back into depressive states, and then recovering, and then back and forth. So my dose would, of course, it would increase, and that generally was increased to the maximum dose of 200 milligrams a day, which led to periods of mania, because I have bipolar disorder, and that of course involves a lot of manic episodes. So sertraline in higher doses, or sertraline period, it's not a very good drug for bipolar, because it can intensify those symptoms. So I've only just realized that, the doctors have just realized that, so I'm coming off it. But I would totally recommend it for short-term use. As in short-term, we're talking 6 to 12 months, not 7 years. It's supposed to, the main aim is supposed to get you, that serotonin levels high enough to what they should be if you were not in a depressive, low mood, or affected by trauma in any way, just to get you to therapy. Whatever therapy you go into, what suits your condition. It's to get you through that therapy, make sure it's effective, and then generally with antidepressants, you'd come off them. And then, reassess everything. It's an ongoing thing. Mental illness recovery, everyone's different, but withdrawing from it, 3 weeks since I reduced it again to 50 milligrams. So I'm back to my therapeutic dose. So that's the dose that I started on all them years ago. And, I feel groggy in the mornings. There's a lot of fatigue, but, I'm riding it through. Thankfully, the anxiety hasn't really come back as such. Not to the degree that it usually is. I've started exercising daily again. I'm going back to the gym. It's an all-round package, and I'm hoping that life post sertraline will be will be positive. You know, I've got to believe in that. If anyone has got any questions regarding sertraline, I know a lot of you have already been on it for many years. Then, you know, share with us, share your stories. I find it has been a very positive drug with me. Although it has kept me out of periods of depression, it has, of course, intensified the mania. But I've been told by a few psychiatrists that that drug has possibly kept me alive for a long time. If it wasn't for sertraline, you know, I wouldn't have stopped self-harming. You know, I've got to give myself credit that, you know, I got myself through it. I don't self-harm. But it got me through self-harm. It got me, you know, I completely stopped self-harming by cutting in my mid-20s. You know, I was cutting from my early teens into my mid-20s. That's how I kind of cope with the pain. So it was good to actually to handle those emotions enough to stop self-harming in that way. That is one thing that I am concerned about. But, you know, I'm not the same person I was 7 years ago. And also with sertraline, with being on the higher doses, it can make you very emotionally blunt. So, you know, you kind of, you don't show the empathy or the compassion towards other people as you should. And also, when my brother died, you know, the grief was kind of masked. I didn't really go into periods of grief until I went through a breakdown, you know, some 6 months later, and then I went through some grief therapy. So, you know, although it gets you through low times, it can mask a lot as well. So always review, always talk to your doctor, always do what's best for you personally, because you know yourself. But I would always suggest keep it up. You know, stay on a drug long enough to feel its benefit. Otherwise, you know, you'll never know. Keep swapping and chipping and changing antidepressants. You know, you won't ever know what recovery really feels like, you know. But everyone's different. Always seek your advice from your doctor, guys. Thanks for listening. I wanted to share this about this drug for some time, really. I hope that this has educated someone. If someone's watched this and gone, yeah, I can relate, then, you know, it's well worth it. Thank you very much. Speak soon.